So, hey guys, and yeah, we actually made it in the end. Now, there's a bit of a delay this one. I had got a plethora of issues on my system there, from Windows updates to C drive not working, and almost had to cancel this one, but no, just about made it in the end. Just about made it in the end. So, we are playing the new add-on today. What is it even called? Was it the SW1000R? Which also comes with the Metroliner cab for the Northern Transpennine Stellar Express. So we'll check up the information there. There you go, and you see New York. Done this a few times before, but as always, we'll go over the tutorial first. There you go, SW1000R introduction, and we also got the Amfleet cab car, which is the name of the Metroliner. Well, it's an ex-Metroliner that can convert into a cab car to fit the carriages on the back of the Stellar Express. It did get retired in 2006, but yeah, it's a bit of history behind it. But we'll go for the SW first, give it a go, and while the tutorial loads, we'll give the trailer a quick look, shall we?
Locomotive in Amtrak livery. This brief introduction will go through the start and stop procedures.
So there we go, the SW1000R.
Climb aboard to get started.
Let's start the tutorial off, let's get in the train, and let's figure out how to operate. So I don't think it'll be too dissimilar from most of these American locos.
The primary engine systems need power before the engine can be started.
So bring on all the engine runs and fuel pumps.
The PCS needs to be reset before the locomotive can be started. This is done by moving the driver's brake lever to emergency and then back to release.
And also set to emergency, then back to release.
The engine is now ready to be started.
So over to the panel over here, and set that to engine start. There we go. Sit back down again.
Cabin gauge lights let you...
Yeah, so the setup itself isn't too dissimilar from the other American locos we've used, except the startup being on the switch over there is a little easier, actually, I'd say, compared to the engine start in the back of the train.
Will take a moment to charge. This can be observed by watching the brake dials.
Alright, let's give those a watch. Now slowly move up. While we're here, let's have a look at the loco itself, shall we? So we are currently switching a few Stellar Express cars. And then, yeah, I don't see any of the Metroliner stuff here right now, so they, I will presume, are currently elsewhere. Right, reservoir should be ready very shortly now. There we go. I think the wagons or Armstrong Powerhouse will make class 507 or 508 on Mersey Rail. They could do. They could do. I mean, the 508's not a train I'd personally... Yeah, 507, 508 it's not a train I'd personally use too often. Nor have I got really any connection to a Mersey Rail, but it is something that they could potentially do. Will there be heavy freight stream? I've already answered that question. And what are the lights at the top of the cab car? Well, these ones. I presume they form as yeah, headlights.
Preparations continue. The independent brake should be applied.
I mean, if you look at the fronts here, got the headlights currently sitting on top of that. So that would just be the reverse one if we're heading in that direction. Right, move the brakes into full application. Handbrakes released.
The independent brake is holding the train, so the rest of the brakes can be released.
There we go.
The reverser handle must be inserted before it can be...
Move that forwards.
Now
Brakes
release
release.
the independent brake.
And throttle slowly.
Press the throttle to start moving. Do not apply too much power too quickly.
There we go, off we now go. So, yes, the SW1000R. I'm not quite sure about much the history of this one. It has now been retired, long retired. But, if you want the Metroliner info, then I can give you more about that. But I presume this is about the same era as the Metroliner, so 1960s to early 2000s. No lights on the Metroliner. Okay, once we get to the Metroliner, we'll have a quick look. Increase the throttle first, and then make our way with that. Throttle off since we're cruising, and
There's a short distance between here and the next stop, so be sure to manage the train and prevent overspeeding.
yeah, it's not too difficult. It's kind of the same as driving the other locos really from the original CSX Heavy Haul, and the other add-on train as well. Don't quite remember the name of that one, but no, it's not too bad. Everything's a bit more close together. Again, having the engine start-up switch here, rather than the side of the engine, I feels a bit of a nice way of doing it. Alright, so, we'll bring back the throttle slightly, put a bit of braking in. There we go. Should have an extension to the Northeast Corridor. They should add an extension to a couple of lines dovetail for some of their routes, I will say. Especially when you look at the, the Great Western Express, the line from Paddington to Reading. Would be nice to see that one extend to at least Oxford, which gives us about 40-50 miles of track from the 30 that it currently has. And certainly gives us a bit more to do in terms of journey-wise, especially HS2. So if you're stopping at Maidenhead, you'll get at least 3 stops. If you're stopping at just Reading, you get at least 2 as well. Welcome, Kevin. How are you doing today? How are you doing? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the chat. Hope you're well. Right, so we shouldn't be too far away now. Check the front of the train for our position. Stick it in third person, or these free cam. I'm not quite sure where we're stopping exactly. It just says that we are a short distance away, so hope not too far away. As a tutorial, should be at least alright to get us into what we need to know basics wise. Yeah, they should definitely add some extension to a couple of the routes. I mean, I'm not too sure about the northeast corridor myself. What I know is that it goes from Baltimore to Washington. Is that the full length of the line? Because this one goes from Newark Airport to what's it called? I've completely forgotten. What is it? It's Newark Airport to goes through New York, Pennsylvania station. Yes, it's Pennsylvania to Baltimore. I've completely forgotten. I'll check it out in a second. Right, so we shouldn't be too far away now. 200 yards to next signal. If I check the map actually, it'll probably give me an idea of where we need to go. Yeah, it's just outside of the yard at the other end there. Yeah, it's a map I've not seen in a little while. And the switching yards up and down the line. I remember when it comes to the northeast corridor, this I think was probably the least popular of the routes that were to come out. Certainly was one that didn't fare well with a few of the bugs that it had on the release, but certainly has a. We'll see what this new add-on kind of really does in terms of life for it, because northeast corridor was a bit of a dead one. The trains were fairly simple, and the switching didn't give you particularly much to do. So, like I say, this is hopefully an add-on which kind of redeem some life back into it. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the long run. A big shunting yard on Northern Transpennine. You talking about NTP or NEC? Because NTP is Northern Transpennine, NEC Northeast Corridor. North Transpennine, I don't think it's too bad in terms of its route actually, Manchester to York. Yeah, that was not too bad in terms of its length, I don't think. Although, it has recently... Did it get the freight train, part of the heavy freight pack? I believe it did, so... Yeah, let's have a bit more to it now as well. There we go, stop at location.
On the approach to loop track A, start applying a small amount of brake force to achieve a comfortable stop.
That's fine. We still have a fair bit of distance to go anyway, at half a mile, 500 yards. Yeah, Northern Transpennine I'm talking about. Because right now we're on Northeast Corridor, NEC. Should be a road up there. Don't expect much in terms of traffic. One thing I certainly would like to see in this map is a lot more life being added to it. Whether it's just people standing around the sides, a few cars driving on the roads. Like I say, a bit more that I would certainly like to see in the future of this one. Would you like to see DSLR Express this route? Technically the train, the ATS-64 and all that is a part of DSLR Express. It's just a very limited part of it. Got a bit of shunting, needs to reskin to 37 and get that running across Pennines, yes, that makes sense. Like I said, at some point I will do a stream for the heavy freight pack, maybe even on Sunday. We'll see what happens if I've got time for it. Because I know I've got some things I need to do on Sunday morning, as well as the evening, so if I can get a bit of time in the mid, then we'll see what I can do with that. Right, we're only about 300 yards now though from the stop point, so we'll take care of that very shortly. Please tell me they have a race horn for this. I don't know because I can't use the horn yet. We're still part of the tutorial. I'm sure once we're through the tutorial, we'll give the horn a listen. I'm not quite sure what it sounds like in the real world, but I'm sure that you guys will be the judges of that one. Right, well here we go. Almost there. And let's bring it to a halt, shall we? So, bring the braking up. Nice and comfortable.
Good work. That concludes all the basics of this locomotive.
Fair enough, that's the tutorial done. Right, so we'll do the tutorial for the other one as well, the Metroliner, and then we'll go through a few of the routes. Scenarios we'll leave for another time, but routes we'll definitely do some of those. Next tutorial, let's see what we can get out of this one. Spent your money on Tees Valley, soon realised you wanted the heavy freight pack. Level of British freights. Yeah, I'm not much of a freight myself, I'm more passenger stopping services, but there are some freight routes out there which are quite enjoyable. Call it boring, but the Class 66, the shed, I do certainly enjoy.
Welcome to this Amfleet cab car in Amtrak livery. This brief introduction will cover startup, stopping, and passenger operations.
Alright, so which lights in particular were you
Climb
commenting
aboard
on?
to get started.
Because the lights to me all seem quite standard. Right, let's get on board. Upstairs, a bit of a staircase animation there. Close that, enter the cab. Cab's fairly standard for American single door operation. And how's that for a cab?
Before the locomotive can be driven. This requires waiting for the main reservoir to fill.
Right, we'll sit here for a couple of moments, let it fill. This is going to be an interesting one. Certainly not different to the trains on the other one, the Metro one. Lights on the roof. Let's have a closer look at them while the reservoir charges. Aspects wise, they look like standard white lights. I believe they're just headlights really. Spotlights. Oh, I'm talking about these ones. Then, well, those are horns quite obviously. I'm actually not too sure. I don't think you've got flashing lights or anything particularly special about it. I'm not sure. I'll mess around with the switches later. We'll see what there is. Let's just set up the circuit breaker.
Set the reverser.
Set the reverser to forwards.
The brake mode needs to be set in order to take control of the brakes of the train from this cab.
Lead brakes. I know it's the trail brakes, okay.
The automatic brake is holding the train, so the parking brake can be released. Interior lights let you see inside the cab better. Exterior lights are important in letting others around know that this is the operational end of the train.
Okay. Exterior lights down there.
Now release the automatic brake.
Set brake to release. I presume those are empty. Yes, they do.
Increase
And then
the
that's the
throttle to start
throttle.
moving. Do not apply too much power too quickly.
This is a weird one. Like, if throttle's in front of you, your brakes are right there as well. And then the brakes like that size. It's an interesting one. It's actually not a car I've seen before. It's going to take a moment or two to adjust, really.
Incremental speed limits. Use the throttle and brake to manage the speed of the train and avoid overspeeding.
That's fine. Put a bit of braking in. Hi, Drawyah. I'm back. Were you working today? If you were, how's today? Yes, I was working today. It's not been too bad. I had a few issues with this PC when actually trying to start the stream. The whole thing almost went kaput on me, and my C drive was almost moments away from dying on me, basically. So, fortunately, that didn't happen. Otherwise, who knows what mess I'd be in right now. Although, fair to say that after the stream, I'll be doing a bit of a hard drive cleanup. Spotlight should flash with the dish light. That's it. They flash with the horn. That's what we're looking for. So I know American train horns are a bit crazy, but that explains it. So it's warning lights. Don't get too close to the train, or you're not going to make it, basically. And then the bell as well. I should turn off the bell. I'm not too sure. I really hope that Armstrong make the 578 soon. Like I say, if they do it, they do it. It's not something I personally have any control over. I don't work for Armstrong or anything, nor do I have any connections. I'm sure that they have a forum though, or if you have a suggestion, you're free to stick it on that. Alright, so speed limit I presume should increase very shortly. As I said, it is incremental. Even better, backwards horn is correct, but bell is to even better, backwards, even better, backwards but better. Horn is correct and the bell is to I'm happy. Not quite sure what you mean by that. What's luck on the back as well? Okay, the back's just the standard loco. So how far are we going? We are heading to... We're going up to New York Penn Station, and yeah, we'll park up there, that's fine. Bit of throttle in since we're going uphill now. Let's put a tiny bit of power in just to keep the pressure up. Is there a bell cut-off key before that thing? It's going to take me a lifetime to figure it. Here we go, flashlight make it a bit easier. So that's in a dark cabin, this. Black fabric, black rubber, black plastic, black metal. Blue seat though. And a tiny little window to spot out of. Do you think also... do you think they're going to come on my birthday, on the underground? Like I say, I've already answered that question, Harry. You need to pay more attention. Never actually been to London Transport Museum myself, although something I should do at some point. I've been on a couple of their heritage runs. Most recent was the 1938 stock. I've never actually been to the museum itself. It's something I should do. Been outside it a couple of times. Covent Garden is a place I do frequent here in London. Alright, so we should now be entering the tunnel shortly. And that'll be the entry into Well, first we have to cross over the tracks, get to the right track, and then we'll be entering the tunnel into the New York, Pennsylvania station. And then that'll take us a couple of moments. Still at the 10 mph speed limit here, but very shortly. There we go, it has increased now.
With the train now moving, it's possible to apply more power, and focus can be diverted towards achieving a desired speed.
I'd rather have the focus diverted to chasing off that bell. I'm not quite sure where it is. Say horn you can move. Okay, not anymore. Horn is inactive. Right, I'll carry on. I don't think there was a cabin light or anything I could turn on either. Oh, yes, there was. It's just those two I could turn up. Right. Like I say, in a moment I'll do a look at the key commands. Very hats off to spell. It's not a bad little train, that.
Coasting is a method used on flat. There's a short distance between here and Penn Station. Attention can be diverted to judging the required braking distance and preparing to stop.
Welcome, Grind. How are you doing today? How are you doing? Hope you're well. Right, for a little bit braking in, let's just start slowing this train down. Like a bit of light coming in from somewhere. Obviously the baked text shadows haven't quite reached this tunnel from the devs. I'll happily drop a mention of that Pelson later. But otherwise, like I say, it's not looking too bad, this cab. I'm not too bad, not too bad. Currently enjoying the latest locos here on Trains and Worlds. How long do we actually stop is the question. How far to go? Not very is the question. And I've realised that it could be a red signal coming out shortly, so I will keep a finger on the brakes. We're approaching to New York's very short now, so we'll need to slow down anyway. Right, so yellow followed by red. So the next signal will be... the green signal's green now, so carry on focusing on that. Like I say, I'm not quite up to scratch with the American signal layout. German one I'm getting better on, especially with the last stream I did in the German trains, which had the help of the guy, I think it was Nick was his name, on PZB. It's not looking too bad. How do you do your thumbnails? My one's always turned out bad. It's not particularly difficult. I mean, as long as most of your screen is showing off the focus of your stream, video, whatever it is. What you need is a tiny bit of text, kind of highlight what's going on. And in my case, I do a lot of gaming. Maybe a small logo of the game on top corner or something. My logos aren't particularly nice. There are a lot of better ones out there. I'm thinking about changing mine up a little bit. But, yeah, so there's a few things that can be done. Likewise, ensure your images are bright and clear as well. It takes up most of the screen. Right, here comes New York Penn. We'll get ready to slow down. Okay, stop location, 400 yards. I just had it at 43.8 pounds anymore. The HSTs is not something I personally have much of a connection to, nor do I have much with the Azumas or the 800s anyway. But I never really used the HST much in the real world. That's something I will say. I think I'd yeah, Great Western's not a line I use too commonly. So yes, historical thing. It's sad that they have gone. But it's not something I've got too much, I guess, feeling for. They the 390s, is it, on the version, the Pendolinos? They disappear. We'll probably want that at all. Come towards me a little more. Right, we'll set the brakes up, ejects complete.
Well done.
And there we go.
This makes perfect. Give a quick glance of the platform to ensure all is safe, and then unlock the doors.
Oh boy, how am I going to do this? I can't really do that, so we'll just go for the tab, unlock left.
Good work. That concludes all.
Do I think they'll be scrapped? No, none will be scrapped. They're being moved to ScotRail and East Midland Trains. So there's a few of them going to a heritage line, but at the moment, 0 are set to be scrapped. Right, well, there we go. That's the Amfleet's cab car. A little bit I've got to learn about this one in terms of its layouts and whatnot, but I'm sure while this tutorial is still fresh in my mind, we'll be able to get a few runs in this. So we'll go for the cab car again, the X Metroliner. Scenario wise, let's see what we've got to add. We've got back to front, New York nuisance, and keystone cutting. 1 in the Metroliner, and 2 in the switches as well. Service wise, we'll go for the Metroliner first. Go for the clear weather as standard. And let's do, there you go, it's Newark. Newark to New York Penn. Is that it? Only half routes they serve. Okay, we're going to Harrisburg anyway. Quite a short one actually, not much distance. I'll go for the earlier one then, 11 past 9. Give that a load, and let's see what we can do. I'm going to quickly turn my light, for a little bit of lighting in here as well. There we go, that should be a bit better. Get the webcam, second to adjust that, there we go. Right, let's get our first service going, shall we? Unlock the right side doors. Window you can open to peer out. And I also want to have a look at the settings and key commands, just in case I don't know how to turn off the bell. Control B and B. Let's get that go, shall we? So B, B, Control B. Same thing, fair enough. How many 3-on-3s have been scrapped? I don't know, 2 or 3. I'm not too sure about the numbers. And think about getting X Enviro. X Enviro, I've already said my opinions on X Enviro. It's one of those add-ons that are a bit 50-50, as it is for me. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes in the future to upgrade that. Right, I'll set up the lights, go for bright lights. Ditch lights, that's fine. Cab lights on. Oh, we have got cab lights. Thank you very much. MCB open, powers in the cab. Brake mode, trail. Wipers and all that we don't require, although we'll some gauge lights. What else are we now required to do as well? Passengers are loaded, so we'll be going in about 1 minute, which is fine. I think that's it really. We won't go for the safety equipment. Should be fine without that. Handle. Release those. Parking brake. We'll put that on just for now, but we'll release it once the train's ready to go. Speaking to a Maze Rail guy the other day, asking what happened to 508s and 57s, and he said they're going to Asia. Yeah, sounds about right. A lot of our trains are being exported now as well, just to give them a bit more life. No, 443s, they are at the moment not being scrapped. As it stands, only 2 of them have been scrapped so far. Those were the 2 that were involved in accidents a couple of years ago, in the late 1990s. Everything else stays as they are, just a different paint job, different part of the country. Right, parking brakes off. And hopefully, if I've done this right, I'll set the reverser, that would probably help. What have I done wrong? Closed. It has to be closed. Headlights set. Strobe lights fine. That's fine. Ditch lights, that's fine. Parking brake off. Release brakes off. No, what have I done? Have I done something wrong already? Probably. Release off. Reverser is set to forward. Bell stays off, at least I know where it is. You want to live in London because you want to live in London when you're older, you want to, London's not too bad. I mean, I live in Greater London myself. It's not terrible. There's a few things we can do out here, but otherwise, yeah, there aren't too many things wrong with here, I will say. I'm sure it's meant to be on trial, not lead. I'm not sure that is either. Wiper, gauge dimmer lights, gauge on. What else have I done wrong? Ditch lights didn't touch. Loco select, it's fine, they're on electric. Cab lights on, turn those off if you don't need them. Local alarm bell silence. MCB is closed. I believe it needs to be closed. Yeah. Headlights bright, strobe lights doesn't matter. Light shut off is off. Speedometer gauge, put a bit of light on that. Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one. Not very similar to anything I've actually operated before. Very different, and it doesn't give me the tutorial at this point, so I may actually have to go back to tutorial just to figure out what I've actually done wrong with this one. That's awkward. And a thrice. Yes, that's a trail. Bring the cab lights back on again. Pantograph is normal. Not just note back. I'll give the pantograph a go. So open the circuits. Lower the pantograph. Well, I can tell your grandfather is wrong. A lot of the trains in the London area are a lot older than that up north. I mean, you look at Northern Transpennine and Merseyrail and all that, starting to get new locos in. Southern and South Western, they both are stuck with trains from the 80s with no signs of upgrades coming up. London used to get a few of the rails like Crossrail and Overground and all that kind of stuff, but you look at the South is stuck with the old trains. I think the 458 is still operating in quite a lot of lines. What am I doing wrong? I'm just talking now to waste time, basically. Bell, that's fine. Does my mouse find anything else? That's fine. Doors are closed. Release. Off. Do I go through tutorial again? We have Pacers. Pacers aren't that old. Pacers are early 90s. Pacers are late 80s, early 90s. A lot of the trains we have in London South region are early 80s and maybe one or two late 70s still there. Right, let me restart the tutorial because I am so lost with this train. We're going to go for the very beginning bits where it tells me how to actually operate it, but I am so lost with this train, it's unbelievable. Scenarios. Let's go for the tutorials I want. Right, what am I doing wrong with this thing? I tell him. Hang on, I'll read it in a second. Right, let's have a look. What am I doing wrong with this train?
Welcome to this Amfleet cab car in Amtrak livery. This brief introduction will cover startup, stopping, and passenger operations.
That's fine.
Climb aboard to get started.
Climb aboard.
A lot of time will be spent in the driver's seat. The PCS needs to be reset before the locomotive can be driven. This requires waiting for the main reservoir to fill.
We were waiting for that for a little while. I think it's just sitting here and doing nothing basically. Turn on the gauge lights and turn up brightness to be able to see that in action. It's a very slow movement, but something's happening. You're not interested in American trains, so you're going to play Tees Valley. Yep, no worries, Will. See you later, I guess. There we go. Up to 90. And up to 100. Right, that should be enough. At least we have to wait a few seconds more. There we go.
The locomotive is now ready to be
MCB closed, we did that. Reverser forwards.
Set the reverser.
We did that.
The brake mode needs to be set in order to
So
take
that's trail, yes.
The automatic brake is holding the train.
And
so
brakes
the
off.
Interior lights let you see inside the cab better. Exterior lights are important and now release the automatic brake.
Right, don't think there's anything I particularly did wrong. Do I know Fella's film? Yes, I do know Fella's
Increase
film.
the throttle to start moving.
I've used the
Do not
forums for
apply
a
too
fair
much
while
power too
now.
quickly.
There's a lot on it I'm not a massive fan of, if I'm totally
Track leading
honest.
to the main line has
Especially
incremental
surrounding
speed.
the obviously out of London. Right, so what I've done there was absolutely correct to what I did in the mission. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head into the train again. Service, go for the exact same service. Select that, spring clear. We'll go for the 11 past 9 service again. I'm going to do exactly what I did in the tutorial. Let's see what we can do. There's nothing on the NVIDIA 200, it's great. Yeah, I believe I've used it. There's a lot on the first film that is pretty good, especially with the modding scene. Kind of the only surviving modding scene left in the simulator. Right, gauge lights on. The reservoir is already filled. Red line at 130. That's fine. What's not doing wipers for? Turn on the cab lights as well. There we go. And turn the brightness there. Also turn up this one. Right, so first thing they did was hang on. Parking brakes off, unless brakes held, that's fine. Power should be on this end. Reverser goes to 4. Nope, not yet. Circuit breaker is closed. Reverser goes forwards. Set the lights and ditch lights set. Release those brakes. We should be able to move like that, but obviously something is not playing fair. That's the horn. Yeah, AC cutout, that's fine. That's just automatic speeding and all that. Brake mode trail, okay, we'll set that as well. I'm not quite sure. What am I doing wrong with this train? Turn off the belt. Cab lights, that's fine. Signs to be able to light that switch. MCB closed, ditch lights, that's fine. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with this thing. I'm following the tutorial as it expects me to. Yeah, I can't quite get this loco to move. We'll lock the doors, just to ensure that the doors are not the problem. Yeah, even doors closed. Okay, there we go. We are now moving. Well, I'm not sure what happened the first time, but second time around it seems to have done the trick. Right, New York Penn, track 3. 9 miles. Let's make our way there, shall we? We've got speed as well, going too fast. Might have done something in the wrong order, which the train didn't like, but doesn't matter now. Let's go on our way, shall we? Okay, I'll stick the camera this side. Let's give the a bit more interesting. Right, so driving car 9644 today from New York Penn to Newark Penn. Journey time ain't too long. Make sure that the lights are a bit brighter now, just to get that going. Otherwise, cab lights we can now turn off since we have got everything that we require visible. So that's on, that's on. Throttle, hoping for the best. Yeah, that up there are the headlights. Back of the train. These should be red tail lights. Haven't set them though, so they're going to be switched off for the journey, which is fine. Otherwise, it should be a fairly simple journey today. Train signal stops working for some reason. When you press play, you get a black screen, nothing happens. You can hear everything when you want to open it. If you go to Steam properties and verify game's integrity, that will usually just run an update and fix any files that may be missing on that. That's what I usually go for, and usually does the tricks. So verify game files and you should be alright. A little bit braking in, so it's going a little fast. No need any more. Speed up goes up. Yeah, there we go. Now getting some movement in. Should get some standard train operation going on here. Speed goes up. So listen to the sounds as well. The railway below us. So let's turn it up slightly. 60 miles per hour will cut off the throttle handle. Again, downhill slightly though, so minor braking would be helpful for this. We'll leave it on minimum application. In fact, now I'll cut them off entirely. The brakes do seem fairly strong on the X Metroliner cabs, so that's nicely for us. Going uphill now though, so some power may be required in a couple of moments. Basically just keep on balancing the speeds until we get to Newark Penn. We are heading westbound, so that is going to be the airport station. And it's direct there, no stations in between we're stopping at. We're entering the next section of tunnel there. You can see the lights just crack through the border there. Come on, power back up slightly. And we should be leaving the tunnel very shortly now. We're going uphill slightly, so we will reach the exit point in just a couple of moments. See the lights at the end of the tunnel visible in a second. I mean, since the Dovetail guys baked the textures into the tunnels and all the darkness and all that, certainly has helped in terms of the lighting in the sim, as well as the what's it called? The loading times. Dynamic lighting is not so much a harsh thing anymore. It's just extra textures load basically. But no, baking textures is an easy way of doing it in game development. Certainly when it comes to doing lighting, like I say, especially lighting that doesn't require much changing, such as in a tunnel. I don't do too much of these tunnel lights ever on. No worries, Harrys. No worries. Throttle them out of the tunnel. There we go. Finally a bit of light in the cab, eh? We have a crossing there. Yeah, since the Metroliner, or at least the X Metroliner, is a remote cart, acts in the same way as a lot of these new ones coming on Train Sim mods. So the rear cart, the power car's now doing all the work. Well, here it's just kind of remotely controlling the back of the train, so not much down other than just the track really. It's a very quiet way of operating a loco, unless you are towards the back. Passenger wise, since we have got a little while to go, which the speed actually is up to scratch as well. Have the passenger compartment. Don't expect it to be too much different from the rest of the train. Not at all. Yeah, it's exactly the same as you'd expect. The airline style kind of seating. Seating as well, fairly standard. Not bad that, not bad at all. Well, we are the train driver, so probably best if we now go back into the train cab. Just in time to cut off the throttle as well, since we are now up to the line speed of 90 miles per hour. Let's go to free cam, stick it slightly up ahead. Got a station coming through. Yeah, it's not a particularly loud train, that. What's your favourite A4 steam train? Yours is the Mallard and Dominion Canada. I don't know, is to be honest, because I don't particularly know much about steam trains. I'm more knowledgeable of the modern stuff. Or maybe later, anything after the 60s is where I'm more knowledgeable about. Anything before then, not so. I'll cut the throttle now, since you're on level ground. If I have to put a bit of braking in, it's going a bit too fast. Gonna have a few bridges to cross. That's, yeah, speed down needs to cut back way back. Got a few bridges to cross before increasing that again later in our journey. Not too bad. New York's only 4 miles away now as the crow flies, but that'll be more direct now. There we go. And yeah, like I said, the runs for this one aren't particularly long. They aren't particularly long. So I will be able to make it to the end of the service very shortly. Off the bridge, speaking now, go back up again. And due to the fact that these are quite old bridges, I'm presuming that the speed limit on them are lowered just for safety reasons. But yeah, back up to, what was that now? No, yeah, it's 90. So top speed of this section of track. And I think there's one more station we need to pass through before we do make it to our destination. In fact, I don't think there is actually. Oh yeah, there is. There's a small bit over here. We'll make it into Newark Airport, Newark Penn. Set of points. We are taking the central track, so we should be alright for speed. Hellgate Bridge is not a pass line we will be going on ourselves. That's a bit further back. Right, 2 miles to go. Start the braking now, just slow us down. Because I don't think the speed limit will increase at any point during this final bit now, so we'll be stuck to about 50 miles per hour. Yeah, just a mile and a half to go now, so braking anyways would be the focus of this now last bit of the track. Brakes cut, we'll let that release its power, then increase the throttle. There we go. And really, so this one's just slow just in the throttle and the brakes, just so that we can have a nice easy stop coming to the airport. About a mile to go at 60, that'll take a minute or so. I mean, 60 miles to an hour divides the hour by 60 minutes to get to your 1 minute, which is 60. Sorry, divides 60 by 60, which is 1. So 1 mile is 1 minute. 60 miles is 1 hour. Basic maths, eh? Right, so things on the brakes. Start slowing this down. Got one final bridge to cross, and then we are at the airport. And any passengers making their connections, flights, will be able to do that shortly. We'll then probably do another one of these passenger runs, although at the moment they look like they are fairly standards, just New York to Newark Penn. And then we'll do a few switcher ones as well, because I think the switchers will have a bit more life when it comes into trains. Right, got another train to our left. What kind of car do you have at the back? Metroliner or standard? You just got the standard Metroliner. I'm not quite sure what services the Metroliner ends do. I think they are more for the entire length of the Express, but like I say, the trains with these cars actually came out of service in 2006, so for the modern day, they don't actually run anymore. These are fairly well taken out of service now, coming up to, what, 13, 14 years now? Right, nice and slowly, entering the platform. 100 yards to the end of the stop point, although a little more after that for the pause. And Newark Penn is this one. This next station that actually is the airport, so not quite connections. Alright, maximum braking. Let's just bring the train to a halt now. Anyway, we'll do, as long as before the end of that signal. Right. On the right hand side doors. Their passengers make their transitions. And then that, I believe, is the end of the route for me. So not a particularly long one, but it's enough to get the train up to speed and start slowing down again. A bit imaginative as well with the throttle and braking, but like I say, it would be nice to see a bit more of an extension to it actually as well. And yeah, got the door panel over here, because normally the doors would be controlled by a conductor, if you're in the UK, a guards. And well, yeah, you use that to bring the train up to speed. Now, if the track is clear, which it is, does it have steps? Yes, it does. So if we do go to a more rural station, passengers may use the stairs. to enter the train. And they have again done all the animations, so what I'm now thinking is if I go over to... We'll close the stairs quickly, if I know how to. Doesn't particularly matter if I don't. There we go. Will the stairs animation be changed here as well? We'll step down here again. There's no animation. We can just walk up these ones, I believe. Yes, we can. Okay, well, we'll close up those doors in the front now. In fact, we'll do it with the control panels. We can do. Close doors right. And then that should be a mission there. There we go, just completes. Do we get level up? We're on level 2 initially. We now ends the Metroliner still on level 2. Not much distance to get much in terms of the level ups. But yeah, Metroliner mission complete. So like I said, we'll do another one of these missions. Although I presume we'll do exactly the same thing. Can't go down the stairs, so no looking for any discoverabilities. What's that actually coming up ahead of blue? I think that might be a thing we can collect. No, it's not, it's just a bin. Okay, back to the menu. Let's see what else we can do with the Metroliner. It's not scenarios, it's service I want. Scenarios we'll do another time. Try and start the Thursday videos again. Right, X Metroliner cab. We'll go for... Let's go for a winter... There you go, winter snow. Give that a go for America. Route wise, it's all exactly the same, so I'll go for a later one. Let's go for a nighttime one. Let's give that a go, shall we? And yeah, see how far we can get again with the Metroliner. So same route, slightly different weather, although being in a tunnel for half of it won't really affect us too much. And then we'll do a bit of a switcher with the new SW1000 before making our way with the rest of this stream. Lock the rights, set up the lights. So that one I want on. Bring up the main cab lights. What else do I want to do? No, not the bell, sorry. That one's on. Set U to trial. Parking brakes off. Automatic brakes on. Set the ditch lights. Make sure that MCB is closed. And reverser into the forward position. Alright, so that should be us now ready to go. Yeah, plenty of pressure in the reserves. And when passengers are ready to go, departure I think was again at 13 past. We'll then be able to make our way again towards Newark. And while we wait, we'll have a couple moments to walk around the outside of the train. Caution, for your safety, do not stand in the vestibule. Is that the name of the train connecting bit? Yeah, doors locked, so no key or anything for that, so that's fine. And doors locked, so no tense exits. Use the following exits. Other end door next cab. Left side door end, side doors other end. Side of emergency windows. There's a problem. Sounds good. So close that again. Close this says so. Oh, locked doors. So ready to pass anyway. Right, sit down. Lock the doors. And we should then be on our way. Release the brakes. Jet complete. And on we go. Fingers crossed. There we go. Speed limit at the station, fairly slow, so we won't put too much power in. Turn off the cab lights as well, since those aren't particularly required anymore. We're now just using the throttle and brake, basically. Why can't I bring the power handle back? Very weird that. Right, I'll put the brakes in again, just slow us down now. So we shouldn't really be going any faster than 15, just outside the station. Especially the one as busy as New York Penn. Yeah, I thought they were a bit too close. Some of those pillars do reach into the cab there. I'll make a note to dovetail later. Also, I will need to turn the cab lights on again. Where are the switch? I've realised I've not turned on the front lights. That's the door. That's headlights. There you go. Headlights. Right. That's what I want to do anyway, so that should be alright now. 15 miles per hour. Very shortly, we'll increase the speed of that. 8.8 miles to go. 2025 is our arrival time. It's only about a 10-minute hop, this one. Nothing too major, like I say. And there you go. On the final set of points, we'll now be able to increase our speed once we make it out. Going downhill, so we're actually increasing speed already. Now let the train roll out now. And there you go. Throttle up. Let's get going. Yeah, even the initial brakes of this train are very strong, so keeping the train brakes balanced, it's almost a fight. We're going uphill now, so we're starting to climb out of the station, which means lower amount of power, we'll be able to keep the train up straight. The acceleration is nowhere near quite as powerful as the braking for this one. That is a good thing, actually. I do prefer trains that allow you to stop like that. The acceleration, maybe a little bit more to think about, especially when you kind of get towards the top speed. Look, I know the 90 mile per hour limit here is for most of the line, although coming up to bridges and points, we'll be able to slow down to 45 quite quickly. Right, increasing speed, all looking good so far. Yeah, cut out the power handle, going uphill, and actually slow the train down itself. And then, like I say, very shortly we'll be able to leave the tunnel. Lights for that should appear very shortly. As you say, light for that, it is now night time in the winter as well, so we do need to take that into account. But very shortly we'll be able to leave the tunnel, and then make our way out in the night time in New York. I wonder what the night actually looks like on this route. I've never really seen it. I mean, the night sky in New York is a beautiful sight to behold from what I've heard and images that I've seen, but we'll see what the actual scenario provides. We will actually now need the wipers, and I cannot see in this cab to save my life. I know that the wipers are somewhere over here. Hang on, I can just do it manually, can't I? There we go. I will say, New York's a bit darker than I remember it being. Not a single light anywhere. Stick the camera down somewhere nice. Head back into the first person camera. So a little bit more power to go before you reach top speeds. The snow and ice also actually affects the track right now, the amount of grip and friction we're getting. Otherwise, shouldn't affect the top speed of our train too much. And I wonder if it is possible to turn on the passenger lights as well, because passengers I'm sure can't see anything either. I will turn on the cab lights now because I just can't see anything. It's ridiculous. Such a dark cabin, this. Very dark. Cannot see a thing outside. Bridge coming up, although, sorry, station coming up, though one we don't need to stop through or slow down. Gauge light, dimmer lights. Although no passenger cabin lights, I believe that may be controlled. I know where they're going to be controlled. It's going to be this panel here, won't it? See, open this door, close this door, open doors left, open doors right. I'm sure this will be where you control the lighting. Where else will it be? Okay, am I wrong then? I'll head back to the driver cab now. Sit back down. I realise I'm going a bit fast for this stretch of track, but speed will increase in a couple of moments. Actually, we're on the bridge, so we should slow down. Yeah, I'm quite surprised the passenger cab lights weren't there. I didn't look inside the cab of this one in a second. No, I guess not. Okay. Right, so focus on the rest of this journey then. There we go. Speed can now increase, so I'll go back to 90. And in 3.5 miles, we'll then be at Newark Penn. So a bit of history of the Metroliner actually as well, I'll go through that. So the Metroliner was the train that ran up and down between Pennsylvania and Baltimore before the Acela Express, the A64, took over in 2000 up until 2006. So initially this was a slower stopping service, although with the introduction of the ACS, it meant that they could increase the speed line to 150 miles per hour, which is now the fastest line in America, and also the only one that's profitable compared to the rest of Amtrak. And well, yeah, as a line itself, also meant that they could increase the frequency of trains, the modern ones. But the Metroliner, like I say, used to be a much slower service. Stops at every single station along the way, and kind of just picks up passengers left, right, and centre. It also had a first-class service. Something that actually, sorry, no, it didn't have a first-class service, which was a little different to most trains in America. One of the only ones that didn't have one. And yeah, operators, what's called the Metroliner, operates both an express and a metro train for a lot of its service cross country. But like I say, in 2000 they started being retired in place of the AT64, and the last one ever ran, it was in 2006, and that was used in a similar kind of way like this, where you have the main loco at the front, and then you have this running at the back. Nowadays the train just switches ends, and then full speed can be used across the entire line, because the top speed of these cars were only 90 miles per hour, so hence the lowered top speed of this. Right, so we're a mile away now, so we'll start slowing down shortly. A couple more minutes early, but not too bad, especially now that we are slowing down for the station. Now we'll also add a few minutes onto that as well. Yeah, not a very loud train this. Almost like a ghost rider. It's nice moving along. See headlights coming on from the train. Headlights, super bright LEDs on the ACS. In fact, slightly bluer, more than white, I'd say. There you go, that one's coming along. And like last time, I presume it will not have a Metroliner ends, because as I say, the Metroliner is a now retired loco. 300 yards to go. We'll put some light braking in, slow us down to about 20. And then braking, we'll do once we get towards the end of that as well. Nice strong brakes, so we'll cut back the amount of that now. I will say the new snow and rain effects on Train Sim World certainly are quite nice. So this was a couple of months ago actually, it's not particularly new anymore, but compared to the initial release ones, certainly a nice amount of change going on to that. Alright, full surface brakes, unlock the right. And there we go, that is the Metroliner service complete. If they do extend the NTP line, which would be nice to see, then yeah, I'm sure we'll get a little bit more of a route to go with this one, because like I say, at the moment it is quite a short one. Not particularly much we can do with it. But regardless, it's all quite a nice little route to ride on. And not half bad looking train either. The front for me, it's a bit of a weird one actually. It's both. It's like, I like it, but I hate it a lot at the same time. It's not particularly made slightly, but in terms of operation, I guess it does the job. It does the job. Even if it is just an awkward small black cab from the 1960s basically. These are very, very odd cars, but like I say, while the ends no longer operate, the main passenger cars they still do. They were revamped in the mid 2000s and still operate today because it's just a lot cheaper to keep them running basically, rather than change them all over. Right, we'll close all the doors on the right. Okay, let's have to do it from the cab car. We don't have the key on us. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you can see there's a light that lights up on the operatable cab. Okay, yes, you can't. Yeah, lights shows you which car's being operated and which one's not. Right, let's go for the switch, shall we? The SW1000R. Is it 1000R or 1000B? 1000R. Give that a look, shall we? So, like I said, it's just the logo that I've got not as much background on. And the fact that, again, introduced in the 60s, used by Amtrak to move their trains around the New York. There's the other services in the north. But again, this one kind of went out of service. In fact, what year was this built? Rebuilt 1994. Okay, so yeah, like I said, they are long out of service, but these were 1960s originally. We'll go spring clear, we'll go for daytime again, just to get the first basic setup of that. Let's see what kind of services they actually introduced. Give us 4 of them. So, building the building the Empire. 70 minutes, 120. Gosh, these aren't short ones by any means. We'll go for building the Empire. We are British, so what more do we want basically in life? Right, so let this one load. 70 minutes. This could be a long one. Should be worth it. Should be worth it. Mainly because I can presume this will be a lot of 10 mile per hour operation. This one, not much faster than that. A few interesting screenshots in the background as well now coming in, because Dovetail have introduced the monthly competitions. Basically, the most voted ones now become part of the background for Train Sim World. Right, stop location, Sunnyside Yard. Throttle idle, reverse self-stick forwards. Engine is running. Turn on the headlights, engage lights, and whatever. In fact, that should not be on. Headlights don't particularly need. Everything else is fine. Automatic brake release. Independent brake is released. Throttle goes up. Should be in the high vis. Yes, we are. Actually, have the character model correct as well. I noticed that in some recent times the character model gets a. Whoops! I did not pay any attention to that. What did I do? Did I crash into a buffer? Well, we meant to go backwards. I paid no attention to that one at all. We'll see what happens. I hope that was the right way. If not, I've certainly made this a more expensive one. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's this it's a derailleur buffer. They're built to get you off the tracks. Right, so actually we are meant to go in reverse. Turn on these 2 lights then. Nope, not the middle one. These get released. And we will go backwards. I do like the large open window. So that's a lot clearer for the outside view. Just Does our seat turn around fully? I don't think so. So, turning our heads backwards for a lot of this one. Ooh, that's falling off. I have to adjust that later. There's the ACS64 there. I presume that'll be the loco we are servicing. Yeah, got a few of the cars currently spread out along different tracks, so we'll be moving those ones around. Neutral reduction. I won't stop just yet, come on. Just probably gonna... There we go. Alright. Stop at location. Track East 2. Which track is this? So we'll set the points manually. In fact, so get the train going very slowly. Then set the points manually, because that's the fun part of a service like this. Oh, and release brakes. So we'll set the points while the train's still moving. Okay, I should put a bit more speed on that, but hey. Can we open the door as well? Oh yeah, we can, so I got a bit more access as well at the front. And I can't use the front stairs, admittedly. Go. So where else are we going? Follow track as it is. That point needs to be set. There we go. And after that, you also need to make sure that we are staying. Yeah, I think actually maybe a automatic one up ahead. We'll have a look though. Yeah, 790. We're driving 793 right now. Not 797 we're using in the tutorial. Points right now, yeah, needs to be set as well. So we'll change that. And our stop points is just outside the yard. So we'll continue with that. Yeah, we stay to the track that's not quite on the track. This one's an automatic servo there, so we don't actually control that one. Is that still moving? Yes, it is. And at this point, should also be set automatically as well, but we'll double check it in case. Signals are fine. A few of the workers' cars right now, and yeah, I think that's automatic as well, so we don't actually need to set that one at all. Because as long as this is a long part there, so long as this is a part on the main line, there's nothing particularly we need to control there. Yeah, it's charged with the track controller. I'll make sure that we'll then stay on the track without any issues of derailing or anything. So they are incorrect at the moment, but oh no, no, I am wrong. That is correct. Oh, what have I done there? That one is correct, and that one is also correct. Right, we'll go back to our cab now, and then get ready for the next bit of movement as well. So hop back on board. Shouldn't be moving too fast, so I'll be able to get back on without any issues. If not, then we'll just teleport back on. Fair enough for teleports. So, just outside the yard there, into the purple zone, is where we need to change over. Oh yes, people wanted to horn for this one, so horn for this. Just not much of one, I must say. Welcome, Adrianic. How you doing today? How you doing? Turn the bell off because there's a bit of a... It's a weak one. It is a weak one. Close this door too. And get ready to start slowing down and stopping. So throttle idle, make myself comfortable, and then start braking. Perfect. So that's reverse. Oops, no. So that's reverse. Cub to formation. Going straight. So there's a few switch points that are automatic though. So yeah, bring the train backwards. Let's go a couple of that. Brakes released. That door keep open for now, and off we go. Speed limit is 5. I'll go for throttle 1. That will manage our speed so don't go particularly too fast during the reversing bit of this shuttle. Yeah, 10 miles per hour, it's not a bad speed for the reversing bit. In terms of the coupler actually, is this going to be a... No, it's a hook one, so it will require manual coupling, therefore prefer... Yeah, try not to crash into it like we do with some trains. This loco has got no buffers, so will most likely just cause a derail if we don't do this properly. Cars that we're connecting to, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, and I presume that's just the back of a passenger train. Yes it is. So we've got 3 of these there. Then probably couple onto another formation, not that one. Are these first class cars? Because that would explain the formation we're creating. No, I don't think they are, so yeah, coach class stays as standard. Right, throttle idle, set the braking. And nice and slowly, we'll now touch these ones up. So, slowly. That'll do. Wait a moment, how did they do automatically coupled today? I was expecting to do automatic rather than the Buckeye, but hey. Right, stop a location. Reverse it forwards. I presume it's the same spots. Yes, it is. Let's go forward, shall we? Whoops, too much power. And brakes actually release them as well. Probably would come in handy if you're trying to go forwards. Alright, there we go. Brakes released. Throttle wise, you are on idle right now. We'll probably be able to bring it up to 1 again. Yeah, most of the sound you're hearing will now just be the flange from the passenger cars. They are fairly long, it's longer than these UK standards. So, yeah, a bit more stress on the wheels there, creating the flange sound we all know and love. Yeah, nice little detail this also. There you go, Wi-Fi, Amtrak connects. Probably paid Wi-Fi, if I know Amtrak. Emergency window removal. It's a lot of detail that goes into these locos, especially for Train Sim World. Although they have now sorted out the wheel spinning thing, so it no longer completely glitches out the wheels, so you're getting a high speed, which is also a very nice fix from Dovetail. I think it was just down to the motion blur. They really have now cut back on it, if not completely deactivated it entirely. Right, so carry on pushing the train back a bit. About 300 yards now until we get to the stop points. Then we'll be connecting up with, I'm going to guess it's going to be these cars here. Welcome back, how you doing? How you doing, Will? Yes, this is a shunter, or at least as the Americans like to call them, a switcher. But this loco basically switches carriages around, similar in the UK how we would have trains that shunt the cars around. So at the moment we're moving a few of these Acela cars, connects kind of a couple of these together for attaching them to a loco and sending it on its way. Alright, I'll cut the throttle now. Maybe not just yet. A bit more weight, it's certainly slowing us down a tiny bit. Right. So it's like a chopper, yes. It's more like it. Right, 10 yards, start the brakes. Reverse, set to reverse. Release the brakes, and then couple to formation. This one, I believe, it will automatically have the points set. No, it doesn't. Although they are correct already, so that's fine. Throttle up, let's get going. Another great loco for NTP. It's not a bad one, I must say. Certainly a little different in terms of the operation compared to the other American heavy haul locos. But I do like this one. It's a little more down to earth, not as big and bulky as the other ones. A little fast, so collect the throttle slightly, sorry, collect the speed slightly, a bit of braking. There we go. Yeah, not a major service this one, but it's enough to get the train going. I mean, what time is it now? It's 10:15 in the in-game times, so obviously with it, it's probably be a later train, servicing more towards the night. Those are new, the green decals around the doors. Not seen those before, I must admit. Oh no, they're on all the doors. I might have just missed them in the previous services. Right, cover formation 700 yards, still doing less than 10 miles per hour. We'll be alright in terms of the Actual impacts. Class 20 would be great for the Pennines. Oh right, okay. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see the Class 20 added. Yeah, Class 20 would be an interesting addition for the Northern Trans Pennine. We'll see what Dovetail do with the future of it, because like I said, they did just release the heavy haul pack for it, so we'll see what the future brings really. Although as it stands, I believe the next route that I'll be doing is a train. Sorry, is a map as opposed to a train. But again, I could be wrong. I mean, I don't get any info from Dovetail. They don't tell me anything about the upcoming updates. I know nothing. They won't tell me. I ask all the time. They won't tell me. But no, I like the guys at Dovetail. They are good to talk to. And especially when it comes to the shows as well. So, for those who don't know, I will be at the Worley National Railway Show. And I'll be talking about Trains in the World with the Dovetail games there. So, that'll be a lot of fun. And that is coming up in October. Late October. Maybe it could be British Steam route. We'll see about Steam. And one thing Dovetail's quite adamant about is the fact that when it comes to Steam trains, they still have a little bit of work to do before they can really start releasing any of those. Now, we'll see what the future of Steam trains bring us. Right, so we'll slowly couple these together now. I think the train's just slowly rolling itself into positions, so that'll be enough for it to connect. Because this doesn't require any speed for the Buckeye. Yeah, as long as it touches, it touches. Right. Next, couple to two vehicles, which are... Where are they? Oh, uncouple two vehicles. Okay, I'll set the brakes then quickly. And a couple, two vehicles at the back. So I presume we've got too many coach class, and we'll be swapping them around for first class in a couple of seconds. That sounds likely. Right, so I'll switch those around now. Decouple that. Hang on, there we go. Wait a moment. We'll head back to the leading car now. There we go, just completes. Now I presume at this point it was just the point setting. There we go, stop location is indicated, which will be the same location as before. And then my guess is two first class coaches that will be used to finish off this train. Right, throttle up. Let's get going. Okay, a bit too much power there. Disappointed with the waiting Tees Valley. I had 4 services. This one also only has 4 services as well, so it may be something that could be a running theme in the future. Then again, with the limited amount of services, there is also the case that in some cases trains are not particularly heavily used, or in this case, outright not in service altogether. So the SW1000 no longer used by Amtrak. It was in the early 2000s they took out of service. The only reason we have it today is more of a heritage add-on, and one that I know that a lot of Americans would pretty much appreciate, because this is the loco that did a service for nearly 50 years in America, that and the Metroliner, which is why I believe they've gone for it. Yeah, the horn's a bit weak compared to most of these American ones, I must say. Right, so coming up to the point we stop at very shortly, put more power in. How far further do we actually need to go for this one? Ah, we're going right up to the end of the yard there actually, so no, it is right, we have got a little bit to go. We've got 10 miles per hour, which is the speed of this yard. This is, what is it, Sunny something yard. It was the mission, it was the last mission for this add-on. That took us down to this track. But another passenger service coming in at high speed on the main line. By the time we get to the actual point there, we'll probably likely see it. Over on the right hand side. In fact, we missed one quite shortly as well. Right, so 500 yards to go. I think this was just Sunnyside Yard, this one, was it not called? Oh gosh, my camera is now actually stuck in the train as well. I can't get free cam. There we go. There's a small gap at the top there which I can get in and out of. Very weird. Get throttle him. Since we do need to pick up a little more speeds. On games like Train Sim X11, how much do FPS do I normally get? FPS in this, I'm getting around 20. Train Sim World, sitting on the top right there. I'm not quite because the text in the way, so I'm getting around 20 in Train Sim World. Some less graphically heavy routes or some quieter areas we do get maybe up to 30, 40. Although running OBS is a bit of a killer, so OBS is bringing down maybe about 5 frames at least. In X-Plane 11, without OBS, without live streaming, I get easily 40-50 frames. While streaming, it's 20-30. And one of the games is interesting. FSX. FSX, I usually struggle to get more than 15, regardless of streaming or not. I never quite got it to work properly, FSX. Maybe down to the fact that it was just a really old platform that was on its last legs dying for more. But yeah, getting more than 15 in FSX was always a bit of a struggle for me, believe it or not. Which was one of the main factors I actually gave up on it, and now use X-Plane exclusively. But yeah, I think X-Plane 11 is the one that I run quite easily at the moment, followed by Train Sim Worlds. Other sims I use in other games, Armour 3 I use a lot off stream. I've tried using it on the channel a few times, Armour 3, it just doesn't seem to interest too many, but Armour, get easy 50-60 on a good day. And I'm not running multiplayer as well, multiplayer is a killer on that. And yeah, what else do I usually use quite a lot? That's mainly it really, maybe a few 2D games which aren't too difficult to run regardless, so... I'm just going to have a general number. 25 to 35 would be a general number for that across all games as a whole. Though my GPU I know is quite lacking, a GTX 745, so my next upgrade will certainly be a GPU. I'll maybe get a new monitor as well, because these ones are a bit old on their last kind of legs really. Well, not last legs, but yeah, they are certainly old. Right, 50 yards to our stop points. That's weird, you just get 35 in FSX or 7 on X-Plane. It depends on your system setup really. I mean, I use quite a lot of add-ons on FSX, and the fact that it was not particularly well built for multi-core CPUs certainly did not help. Couple to one vehicle, I mainly set on manually. It's automatically set, already set. Okay, he's already set, so there's no problem with getting in the cab. Yeah, with X-Plane 11, it's got a bit more of a GPU-CPU split. So if you've got a powerful GPU, then you should be alright. In my case, my GPU is a bit average, so that's where it gets effective. But a GPU does not affect FSX in any way, shape, or form. So it's your CPU that limits you. In your case, if you're doing bad in X-Plane, but good in FSX, it means that your graphics card, I believe, will be a little bit weaker. But your CPU, your processor, certainly is quite powerful. in my case, my GPU is alright. My CPU is a little dated now, i7-6700K. But like I said, my GPU's not much better either. But they're both kind of in that middle ground where it kind of isn't enough, but just enough to run your basics. If I was splashing out maybe 200 quid on the GTX 1080, I may stick for a 1070 or even a 60. We'll see what my finances say in about 3-4 months, basically. Because the game I'm looking at for the most at the moment will have to be Watch Dogs 3. Watch Dogs 3 set in a post-Brexit London. Man, if that's the future of London, then yeah, Brexit's hustling its hard, isn't it? But yeah, Watch Dogs 3, just the fact that it's based in London, set in London, place that I've actually walked down the real world and can recognise from the trailer and the gameplay footage so far, that excites me. That really does excite me. Can't wait to see what the actual London Underground will look like, because the buses are basically Route Master 2s, the Boris buses, with a bit of a futuristic twist on them. Wonder what locos I'll go for the Underground. I mean, the most futuristic looking, I guess, would be the Jubilee Line 2000. Sorry, the Victoria Line 2009 stock. But they could also go for rest stock if they go subsurface. But I think Victoria Line's the one that kind of covers more. Actually, a more Northern Line actually would cover that. Because it goes from Camden Town to Brixton. That's yeah, it's a Northern Line Victoria Line cross. We'll see what that does. In fact, I've got a tube map in front of me. Yeah, Northern Line goes down to Stockwell, so it does cover a lot of that as well. Be interesting to see what they do with Watch Dogs 3. But like I say, the fact that you can also play as anyone in the city, there's a lot behind it that it excites me. It excites me. Yeah, the Camden Black Market. I mean, I spend a lot of time around Camden Town, Camden Market, mainly towards the stables at the back as well. A few shops are down there I do enjoy, e.g. the Moomin shop. But no, it's a nice area, Camden. I do like it. Right, so not too far away now. So just a couple, and then I believe we'll be connected to an ACS, and then stick it in a place for another loco to take over. What am I saying there? Sorry. That makes sense. You're running an old Toshiba very old Core i3. So yes, in your case the processor should be alright. CPU is enough to run FSX, but if it's a laptop, not should be a laptop, then your GPU is not going to do too much. Am I excited for the new Microsoft Flight Sim? Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Well, kind of obvious how they would run the scenery, because it's 76 petabytes of scenery, real-world locations, 3D modelled based on satellite imagery. So that, I'm very excited to see how they do it. And, well, yeah, it's actually one of those where it's run on the Microsoft servers and then streamed onto the PC of yours, which means you could run it on a potato, basically. That means that I wonder how modding is going to work, because you don't quite have access to your game files on a local drive, so we'll see how that works. But regardless, scenery wise looking great, and from what I've heard about the aircraft coming in, certainly a lot to be excited about. Right, stop locations, same as before, absolutely. Something coming in for docking now, I see. It's also going to be on Xbox. Yes, it's going to be on Xbox and PC. So it'll be interesting to see how console flights are going to work as well. How do you know it's going to work? How do you think it's going to work? Well, it's the same as using FSX on an Xbox controller, basically. Although, with the key commands a little more revised for like engine startup and stuff. It won't quite nearly be as high fidelity as maybe the PC sim. Even if they do what if they do what Dovetail did with the actual controller here, we have like a small dot in the center. I mean, if I switch over to Xbox controls, I control and manage the entire train just from here, basically. I can remember the controls. Yes, that's braking, that's throttle. So throttle up, bit of power in. cut off the power once we get to an appropriate speed. And then, in terms of interacting with the cabin, I've got a little white dot in the centre there. So if I want to switch off, say, number lights, or switch them on, there you go. Interact with the thing, turn them off, we go back to it again. And if I want a specific sub-menu, push and hold the left and right sticks. And it gives you the other controls you can access as well. So, like I say, if they did something similar in terms of that, could be interesting to see how they'd implement it. Switch camera modes, you can move that around. There you go. Something similar to this will probably work. Got to go get stream toys. No worries, man. No worries. Glad you enjoyed it, and I'll hopefully see you in the near future. Oh look, there is the passenger end car there. Sorry, it's not passenger end car. Sorry, it's a Metroliner end car. So some AI services do have them, by the looks of things. It could just be down to the fact that we are running it as a specific Allen train, so that would be set specifically by the mission. If I look to the back of this one, I don't think it'll Metroliner just yet. Do we have first cars set? We've got a cafe. So start with something. Yeah, cafe, coach class, sorry. Which means the next car going to do will likely be first class. So I'll see a couple of the first class cars in a couple of moments. We could even be using that train actually. That's quite a lot of leftovers. Got two cars there for first class. Or even if we go for the set of 3 there, that could be 2 first class and a end car. Have a look quickly at them, shall we? Get an idea of what we're actually connecting up to. So you're parking up now. Right, there's a set of 3. It is an end car, but on the wrong side. Actually, that's a 4 car set there. What's one that's just 3? There it is. There you go. Business class. Business class. That's 2. This here is also 2. Business and business. This one is a 4 set. A 3 set we're looking at. That's a bit further on, okay. Whoops, don't crash into that bridge. There we go, right, let's have a look. This is a coach class. Coach. Okay, so we may not be connected to any of these. Got a cafe car there. And then these are also business. But if none of these ends are yellow, I don't think we're going to have one for this train we're building up now. Probably not. Okay. Right, we're stopping at 100 yards now, so we'll be able to slow down very shortly for that. And brakes. Not yet. Not yet. Bring forward a little more. Nice and slowly. There, stop location. So I'll set this now to reverse. And then see what cars in particular now I'll be connecting to. It will be one of these actually, okay. Throttle up, brakes released. Let's get going. Oh, I like that little detail. The window latch now needs to be opened. That's why I should control the rest of the window. So we open the window and now we can close it. I like that. So the latch now determines how that window opens. In fact, so how both windows open now. So open you, then we'll open you. Close you, Close the latch. Yeah, it's not a little thing. Not a bad little thing, that. Kind of cute, even. Alright, let's try and close this window now. There we go. And then close the latch. Very nice. Very nice. I do like my attention to details in a lot of games. The smaller things that you can click and press with, the better they are. So, I do like that. A little fast, that should be alright. Another 600 yards or so until we can stop the train at its next stop. Let's give that a couple of moments. Check on the map actually where it is as well. Not too far. Not too far at all. Kind of in line with the train that just stops there a couple of moments ago. Just a few tracks down. Bring back the throttle as well. Going downhill, so its speed has slowly increased as we continue with this one. Start with the brakes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're carrying a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 car ourselves. So yeah, we'll just be in line with the trains to our right. Well, we need to be stopping ourselves. So if I stand here and get an idea of where it is. Okay, I actually can't see out of there. Okay, sit down. Use the arrow keys to look out. There we go. That should do. No, it won't. How much more? A tiny bit more. Release the brakes. Throttle goes up. Follow the rear. Cut that. Set the brakes to max. Right, that will now do it. There we go, just completes. Now say decouple. Yes, it does. Wait a moment, jets completes. Move outside the yard again. And then, once we're outside, connect up with set of 5 there, set of 5 there. How long is a normal express train? Let's have a look when that's moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus a driver car. So it'll be 2 first cars. So now, sorry, 2 first class we now need to move, or 2 business class. Connect those, make a 7, and then bring in that ACS, which is currently standing there doing nothing. So it shouldn't be too long now. Just 2 more major bit of work we need to do for this loco, setting it up. And as the mission says, it takes about 75 minutes to set up 1 train. So yeah, it's not a quick process, this. I'm sure there's also maybe more than 1 worker working at a time, so it's process a little bit quicker in the real world. Zoom out a little more. Shouldn't be too far now from that. This is a switch lever at the top of the map there. Doesn't quite lead to anywhere. It could be a train, a drop-off point, yes. So we set at this point. And I presume that there'll be like a truck here waiting sometimes. Let's take cars or wait for a refurbish or something, maybe damage. I don't see an access road or anything, so it could literally just be a random generic side road, basically. Maybe a former track that no longer exists anymore. Right, so only 400 yards now to go. There we go. Get ready to brake. Throttle's idled. And braking now. Perfect. Release the brakes. Set the reverser. Top location. Sliding there. Points should be set automatically. Yeah, because that's where we left in the first place, so that makes sense for speed-wise. Sorry, speed-wise no, a bit fast, but for point-wise, that's already what it's set to before. And then do we end it there, or does it make us set up another loco is the question. Yeah, let's hit the left track. Throttle's idled, and we'll now start slowing down. Ready for a stop in just a couple of moments. There we go, 30 yards. Set the brakes. We're a bit too far now actually, so we'll need to set it forwards. Brakes release, minor bit of power. Oops, not yet. Not yet. There, that'll do. And what's our next set? Stop location, siding 6. So that point there, that's fine. Brakes release, throttle forward. I wonder. Yeah, it does. Okay, so yeah, you have got the different Amtrak logo as well. So that's the current Amtrak logo. On that, you got the original, just text on its own. And I believe that might be the end of the mission there, really, because we're now parking up the loco right beside the other one. So if that's the end, then yeah, 5-car train, not too bad. We'll try not to crash into those buffers again. That's what we did last time. And there we have it. That's the end of the mission with the, what's it called? The SW1000R. Level 3. Yes, we are. Not bad, not bad. I think now for the next episode is set to start at 2 PM. Not gonna wait for that, but I think for now that is the end of that. Which I will. So I was went to try and pester Matt Pedalson's stream to find to get a chopper for the game. Don't worry. Yeah. So like I said, I think now that's the basics of this pack, the SW100 and X Metroliner Amtrak cab car. And I will say it's not a bad add-on. This is not a bad little add-on. Will it bring more life into the Northern Transpennine, which was a lot of a basically big target for a lot of people when it comes to the worst line on the train system world for being dead in the environment, boring trains, and not enough to do. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, like I said, there's had a few missions to it, as well as a new train for building and putting locos together. And well, yeah, like I say, it's not a bad little thing. This nice little switch train, and over there somewhere should be the Metroliner cab car as well. If I quickly go find it, it's one of these that just pulled in a couple moments ago. It's going to be you. There it is. Yeah. Like I say, it's not a bad little loco. This, it's not bad looking either. 9636 there, but certainly an interesting addition. One that will take a lot of time to learn as well. Because like I say, the cab for this one Just a small little thing I can barely figure out myself, but not bad, not bad. Price-wise, not sure what it costs. Something like 11, 12 quid, is it? I have to double check, so we won't get the price for it. But regardless, it's not a bad little pack, and I'm sure it's something that a lot of people, especially Amtrak enthusiasts, will get a lot of fun out of. But I think for now, that'll be a nice time to bring this to an end. Do heavy freights. If you pay attention, Will, I told you when I'd do heavy freights. I'm not going to repeat it. Enjoy rewatching the stream for that. But yeah, no, like I said, it's a nice time to bring the stream to an end. So we'll bring it to that. Thank you. Okay, $11.99. Cheers to that, Will. So it costs $11.99. That's 2 new locos, a few missions, not too many, but as a few. And yeah, like I say, for the Amtrak enthusiast, this is it's a nice one to have. Especially feels like you're shunting as well, you're switching within train yards. Anyways, yeah, so I do thank you guys very much for watching. Do enjoy your weekend as well. It's now Thursday. I'm going to go have my dinner very shortly. So, hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Do leave a like if you enjoyed, do subscribe. And yeah, so like I say, on Sunday I'll be doing the heavy freight pack if I've got enough time to. What time am I going to be busy? I'll be busy from 11, or it could even be 12. 12 till 2, 3 maybe. About 6. Maybe get 2 hours. 2 hours or so. An hour and a half, 2 hours. That should be enough. That should be enough. But yeah, a little bit to look at. On Saturday, I'll also try and get in the flights as well and explain. Get something done with that. Otherwise, that should be that for today. So thank you very much for watching. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night.